Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian and today we're here to talk about the new album from pop punk band Real Friends. It is titled The Home Inside My Head, and I didn't have high hopes going into this album, to be honest. Modern pop punk lately has been incredibly generic and uninventive and just not enjoyable to listen to, in my opinion. Sure, the songs are fun and they're good background music, but that's not what I look for in music. I look for stuff that's going to hit me and grab me, like I talked about in my Architects review. That album grabbed me, pulled me in for 45 minutes, and then just chucked me back out and said, okay, try and move on with your life now. So going into this album, I had low expectations. It's been a big week for music, with Architects bringing out an amazing album, and then Thrice also releasing an album this week, which I will also be reviewing. So starting off this album, you know what you're in for from the very first song. You're in for more generic, uninspired pop punk. There are moments on this album that make me go, oh cool, they have something here, but I feel like that's only on one song. And then the other two that are kind of like that stray more into the generic pop punk realm, but just are a bit more catchy. And yeah, this album, I don't even really know what to say about it, because it's just like the music is, it's just so bland, in my opinion. So let's go through how this album starts out. So the first song is called Stay in One Place. It is literally as generic as pop punk is ever going to get, following so many bands that do this same thing. I've reviewed an album from Rarity in the past, and a whole bunch of these new pop punk bands that have come through in the last 5 years. The Last State Champs record, all that kind of stuff. It's just boring to listen to. The second track, Empty Picture Frames, is the highlight of the album for sure. After that first track, I was dreading the next 30 minutes. And then this song came on and I was like, oh, fuck, wait. We could actually have something good here. And it's got a great chorus. Vocally, it's the best vocal performance on the album. And instrumentally as well, it's the best on the album by a long way. It's just written really well and played really well. And just it's just a well-written song. So I feel like that's the only fully well-written song on the entire album. It's definitely one you should check out. Even if you aren't going to check out the rest of the album, go check out that song, because it is really enjoyable to listen to. So I came out of Empty Picture Frames and I was like, oh, we could actually have something really good here. And then it goes straight into Keep Lying to Me, which is just going straight back into generic pop punk, and it kind of stays at that for the rest of the album, unfortunately. This album follows such a specific formula, not only in the songwriting, but in the track listing as well. I could look at any pop punk album from any modern pop punk band in the last 5 years, and I could tell you that either the second last or the last track on every one of their albums is an acoustic song. And guess what the second last track on this album is? It's an acoustic song. And as I said on my Rarity review a few months ago, ever since Time of Your Life came out by Green Day, every single pop punk album has a acoustic song in it. It's just a trend now, and 90% of them are just total shit. And this is no different. The guitar playing is really nice. I really enjoy it, but this vocalist frustrates me to hell. He puts this tone on his voice that doesn't work. It's like he's trying to sound like Jeremy McKinnon from A Day to Remember, but he doesn't have that grunge to his voice. And his lyrics are so basic. It sounds like someone writing lyrics for the first time. They're just childish. They don't flow together. There's no poetry to it at all. And that's what lyrics should be. You should be able to bring up a lyric sheet, read it, and go, wow, that's fucking poetry. And this is just a whole bunch of words chucked together. And there's just no flow to them at all. And I don't know how you write like that. I just don't know. He's just not a good vocalist to my ears. I know that Real Friends have a big fan base out there, but these aren't even Tumblr lyrics. Like when you go on Tumblr or something and there's all these images with lyrics over the top that are just warped to bands having these inspirational lyrics to not cut yourself or whatever. These lyrics aren't even that. They're meaningless, which is just so frustrating to listen to. The second half of this album starts out well. I thought that at track 6 and 7 were really pretty strong songs compared to the rest. Those songs would be Mess and Isolating Everything. They're still more of the generic pop punk kind of thing, but they're written a bit better. He sings a bit better on those songs, and maybe it was just me tiring on the album at that point, but they just seemed a bit more listenable and fun to listen to, and then it just goes straight back to crappy modern era generic pop punk, which, as I said before, it just sucks. Pop punk has become so stale in the last couple of years, and there's only a few bands that are keeping it above the water. I feel like we're going back into that pop punk depression phase that we went through in, say, between 2008 and 2012, just that 4-year period where nobody was bringing out anything good. And I feel like we're going straight back into that now. I feel like All Time Low saved pop punk when they brought out Don't Panic, and then the pop punk revolution started once again, and now it just feels like all these generic bands that are coming out now are just bringing it straight back down. I'm hoping that the Blink record changes that, but at this point in time, I feel like pop punk is on a downward spiral to nowhere. Apologies. Apologies for that. But yeah, this album's not horrible. It's just average, and that's the problem I feel with pop punk at the moment, is just average is good enough, apparently. And there's so many different genres of music at the moment that are pushing to evolve and get better and push themselves, and pop punk just seems to be stuck in this, let's just do everything the same every single time. So top 3 tracks for this album are all songs I've mentioned. So Stay in One Place, which is actually a really good song, you should go check that out, and then Mess and Isolating Everything, which are generic pop punk songs from the modern era, but they're a bit more catchy, a bit better written, and just they're fun background music. So I'm going to give this album a 2.5 out of 5. It's just a basic, another pop punk record. If you like modern era pop punk, you're going to like the album. So fill up the comment section with hate if you want to, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, just didn't do anything for me. Thanks so much. Wow, I keep just fucking up my words today. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please hit subscribe down below. I've been Christian, and I'll see you next time. Fresh Currents.